I'm going to show you the sizes of these mats, and then I'm going to do a little testing on them. So the smaller one is fitting inside my 9x13 pan. There's just a little bit of a gap there, and the edges are raised a little bit. The larger one is too large for my 10.5 by 14.5 pan. So here we have small, medium, large. The small one fits in my medium one. This is going to have to, it's too large for my baking pans. I mean, you could still use it. You're just looking for support. You just put it on there. It's just going to overhang, no big deal. My silicone baking pan, this is what I want to talk about. My silicone baking pan here will be a wonderful, any flat pan is going to be perfect for these. Perfect. And I'm excited to see about staining, because this came in a 3 set, and on the packaging it said guaranteed not to stick or stain. The very first time I used it, the cookies, the oils from the cookies left stains all over. And in order to clean it, I actually had to use oven cleaner. I mean, serious caustic chemicals. I don't know what to say about this. It, on both accounts, lied its little butt off. So I am really excited to see what happens when I start using this over top. So testing begins now. With the smaller one, what I'm going to see here, and it's not a perfect fit, so I don't know what to expect. I may be setting it up for failure, but I still want to see what happens. I've greased and floured this pan, and this one I have only put this at the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use brownies. I'll put some in this pan and some in this and cook them both and see how easily they lift out. Brownies are done. I'm going to try and pull them both off and see how that goes. Oh, look!
Huh? It works. Sort of.
Aside from breaking a little bit here, had the mat actually gone all the way around the pan, that is the cleanest bottom of a brownie I've ever seen. All right, next one. Give me just a moment. Okay. Oh. These brownies actually turned out pretty good either way. I am going to do a lot more. I'm going to do a lot more cleaning and scrubbing here. This one actually came off pretty well, except for these tiny little pieces. This was actually a really good release this time around. But I do have to say, all the coating on the bottom, I gave it a really thick, good coat. All the coating on the bottom is going to have to be ingested, and that's part of the flavor here when you're eating it.
Right?
This one here, beautifully polished, except for the edges here where, of course, the where the mat did not get the edges. But you see here where it's all nice, where the mat was? No extra residue pieces to mess up the flavor. This could be thrown in the dishwasher, but I want to see how easy it is to clean. So I'm going to clean it by hand. And this is probably the dirtiest it's ever going to get with the baked on brownie bits. So let's see. Slick enough, I can't rip it. Remember that baking tray I showed you earlier with the built-in stains that said it would never stain? I was kind of expecting a little bit of staining here, but look at that. Perfectly clear again. So now we're going to try these out with cookies. I'll just... We'll check in a bit. Now the cookies are done. They're still too soft for me to pick up. So I'm gonna come back in a minute. Okay, let's try this now that I've let the cookies cool a little bit. And all I have to do is really just pick them up. The chocolate chip, of course, still melts on there, but cleans up beautifully. Okay, I should wash that hand before touching any more, but I'm gonna be the one eating these, so no, I won't. Nobody else in the house here likes oatmeal. So these are mine, all mine. And you can see how easily they clean. There's no staining. Look, I can clean them with my fingers. I might just clean it with my tongue soon. Yum. So easy to clean. And again, no staining. How many times do I have to say it? I don't know. I'm amazed. I just made my second batch now. And I just realized if I let it cool, I don't even need a spatula. So that's one less thing I have to clean up is a spatula. See, now you're jealous, aren't you? Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the sink and wipe that down. So as I suspected, the cookie one was so much easier. I barely had to wipe it and it just came right clean. I like my cookies just a little doughy in the middle, and so yeah, some of the dough just stays there with the melted chocolate chips, but it wiped right off. This one, perfectly clean. Unlike this one that promised absolutely no staining and stained the very first time I used it. I don't know what they are putting differently on these, but they actually don't stain. That is nice. So I'm going to eat some cookies and leave you to decide if this is the product you want.